to be making some graffiti art, which is interactive. So first of all, I need to create my spray paint. Here I am. Now I'm going to try and use a little blotch, make it smaller, smaller again, little tiny, 10, yep, little tiny bits of, now I'm going to do it all around this little dot. So it's just randomly making sort of a spray paint effect when it actually moves. Beautiful. So what we're going to try and do is make that a little bit smaller. And yeah. Just a little bit of spray paint there in the middle. Perfect. Now the other thing I want to do now is make it different colours. So this one I'm calling red. Now I'm going to duplicate this one. Now hopefully what we're going to do is select the whole thing and change it to a green. There it is. Beautiful. Then we're going to duplicate that one. Once again, select it all. Change it into a nice yellow maybe. There we go. And duplicate that one. And make that into a nice bright blue. Oops, would help if you select it. Bright blue. Beautiful. Okay, so there are my three colours. So now I have to change their names. Okay, so that'll help out when if I want to do any colour changes to it. Right, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to code it. Now what I need to do is add in my pen. There we are. So we need that. So start with our events. When I click, first of all, going to make sure that nothing is left on the canvas. Then what we're going to do is we want it to follow the mouse. So we're going to go into our controls, saying if the mouse is down. Now I'm pulling this one out too because my computer, because I've got a mouse / trackpad, I have found that if I just put the mouse down and then use the trackpad, it won't do what I want it to. I have to press the space key. So I'll just leave that there for me to swap in when I need to. So if the mouse is down, then I want it to go to the mouse pointer because I want it to follow around and paint. So go to mouse pointer. And then it's going to stamp, or it's going to leave an impression of itself wherever it goes. There we go. Now, once I've clicked here, I want that to do it forever. So I'll wrap that into a forever block, and away I go. Okay, so if I pull this out, I can try it with the mouse. Don't think it's going to happen. Click. No, does see what it does for me. So click that again, swap that out, put space bar in. So if I hold down the space bar now, yeah, it's now doing its thing. So here we are. Perfect. Stop. So leave that one there in case it works for you. That's all good, but it's not going to work for me. Right. Okay. So now if I want to change the colours, I'll need to think about how I'm going to get it to do that. So what I thought I would do is I would go in, create a sprite, and make it just a little colour blob. So for example, for the blue. So I'll just make a little coloured blob, like a splash. Colour. Fill it in. Splash of colour there. So it's my little colour splash. And I'll move it down to the corner here. Alright, so now what I want to do is to change its colour. So if I click on that sprite, I want it to send a message, and my message will be blue. Okay, then on here, if I receive that message, I want to change my costume to blue, and it'll go through. So now what I can do is duplicate this one. Then first of all, in my costumes, I'm going to change its colour to a different colour. So I will change it to the red. Okay. And I come over to on red, on the coding. So when I broadcast new message, I'll broadcast red. So back on here, I can just duplicate that. So when I receive red, I change my costume to red, and so on. So okay, select it, change it to yellow. There he is. Go on down here, red. Come on down here, yellow. And just for the sake of and we'll make a green one. Beautiful. Green, change you to yellow. Okay, so on the code, broadcast yellow. And on here, broadcast new message green. So now you can tell what's going to happen when you get back here. Duplicate, yellow, change it to yellow, and green, change it to green. There we go. Very cool. Whoops, green's flying up in the air there. Right, two more buttons I thought that might be useful. Could be clear all drawing, and the other one could be if you wanted to change walls. Now for your backdrops, you can go into here and find some brick walls, wall 1 and wall 2. So there we go. And then you can add the other one, wall 2. Beautiful. So on the stage, what I would do though is I would get rid of the blank one. There we go. Right, so I have got my two walls that I would like. So now I can make some, just a couple more buttons. So you can find buttons on here. There we are, button 1. So I might use this one. Button clear. So on this one is when this button on this sprite is pressed. I can go into my pen and erase all. And might duplicate this one before I do much else. And I'll make it smaller. Too small. That's better. This one the same, 40. Here we are, two little buttons down there. 1, 2. Clear, and this button here will be change wall. So on this one here, all I have to do is, instead of that, I go into looks and just put next backdrop. So when I click it, it goes between the two. So that's those two buttons. Now if you want to, make sure that those are labelled beautifully. So we're going to costume. You can have a change of colour if you like. If you don't like you want to have different colours. And we're going to type in, and I like using marker. Okay. little bit smaller. Come here, you. It's not easy to move, is it? There we go. Change wall. Normally I like black. Okay. And on this little jobby, it's a nice big clear. In fact, you might want to make it actually what it's going to do, so we'll adjust it so it tells the people exactly what it's going to do. Clear all. Okay, clear all. No, it's, there we go, just a little bit smaller. So here we go, clear all. Right, so there we are. There's your two little buttons down there to change your scene and to clear your drawing. Right, so now we should be ready to be able to do our drawing. So, change my colour. Yep. Alright, push my space bar. Make sure I've clicked here. Push my space bar down. Change my colour. That's where I clicked instead. Here we have some graffiti art. Change my wall, there we go. Clear all. Yep, it's all working perfectly. So there's a little bit of interactive art that's fairly quick and simple to make.